Welcome to Gaia's Calling, where stories ignite your spirit and the earth whispers her secrets. I'm Brad Swift, a Right on Purpose author of eco-fiction and nonfiction, inviting you to become an eco-guardian. Together, let's explore the wonders of our world and take action to protect them. Listen closely. Gaia is calling. Today is about part 2, the problem of climate change. Well, the bottom line is this. The climate crisis is an effect, not a cause. But let's see if we can't delve into that with a bit more depth here. You see, we are living in a time of profound consequence, where the existential crisis of climate change looms larger every day. It is not simply another problem on a long list of human challenges. It is the issue that underpins and exacerbates nearly all others. Social injustices, economic instability, immigration challenges, all are interconnected with the climate crisis. Yet, our political and societal focus often diverts us towards these individual symptoms, ignoring the root of the issue. And here's the paradox. The climate crisis itself is not the cause of our problems. It is the effect, the result of centuries of collective actions. To truly address it, we must understand its origin through a lens that I call the on-purpose perspective, which, just by a side note, is a perspective myself, with the help of a whole lot of other people, started to develop starting around 1996. Now, the on-purpose perspective asks us to view the climate crisis not simply as a problem to be fixed, but as a profound opportunity to reimagine our place in the world. This perspective stems from 3 interconnected domains of life. Number 1, being, our experience of being human. Second one, doing, our actions in the world. And number 3, having, i.e. the results of those actions. And there's a feedback loop in life. In today's world, most people focus their energy on the doing and having cycle. We act to accumulate more possessions or achievements or status, which are the results in the having domain. However, what often gets overlooked in this cycle is being. In other words, the foundational state where we connect with purpose, meaning, and our interdependence with all life. So let's take a look at the role of being in climate change. As I've said before, the climate crisis exists in the domain of having. It is the result of unsustainable actions, many of which are labeled as consumerism, which are in turn driven by our collective state of being. Our choices reflect how we see ourselves and our relationship to the earth. When this foundational being is shaped by fear, disconnection, and a scarcity mindset, it leads to profound patterns of consumption and exploitation. Now, let me introduce you to the Eco Guardian team. As we continue to embark on this journey together, you'll be hearing from Zach Bates and his Eco Guardian team. This is an extraordinary group dedicated to protecting the planet and inspiring others to do the same. Zach, he's a teen-age zookeeper. He's also joined by Rakit, who happens to be a very wise and magical cat. And then there's Samson, her loyal and spirited flying dog. There's also Aya, who is an empathic youth connected to ancient wisdom because, she was born and raised in the Amazon. And then there's Tess, a bold advocate for harmony with nature. And Argos happens to be a visionary thinker from, beyond the ordinary. He's also a dog, but don't tell him that. He gets upset. Their insights and stories will help us explore what it means to live with purpose and create a regenerative future. So, like Zach says, it's like trying to fix a broken branch without realizing the tree roots are poisoned. If we don't heal the roots, the tree won't survive. So let's take a look at the true root cause, our collective being. Our actions, i.e. the doing, and their results, the having, are shaped by our collective being, which is made up of our shared thoughts, our emotions, and beliefs. Unfortunately, for centuries, humanity's collective being has been dominated by great untruths. I also call those guts, G-U-T-S. These are erroneous beliefs that distort our relationship with the world. Now, drawing inspiration from a great book, The Coddling of the American Mind, by Greg, and I'm going to probably butcher these last names, Lukianoff and Jonathan Haidt, we can find a great untruth, or we can define a great untruth by these criteria. Number one, a great untruth contradicts ancient wisdom. It also contradicts modern psychological research. And number three, it harms individuals and communities. So let's explore the four untruths, the four great untruths at the heart of the climate crisis. Number one, we are separate from nature. Now, here's the contradiction. Indigenous cultures teach interconnectedness, while modern science confirms the interdependence of all life. And the harm? This belief justifies domination and exploitation, leading to environmental destruction. Now, as Grayket reminds us, everything is interconnected. When one strand of the web of life is cut, the whole web is weakened. Untruth, great untruth number two, more is always better. The contradictions? Well, simplicity and sufficiency have been hallmarks of ancient wisdom, while psychology shows that more possessions do not increase happiness beyond a certain point. And the harm? Overconsumption depletes finite resources and deepens inequality. As Simpson likes to quib, if you always chase more, you never enjoy what you have. And the great untruth number three, the earth resources are infinite. Not true. And the contradiction, ancient wisdom emphasizes balance, and science highlights the rapid depletion of soil, water, and biodiversity. And the harm, oh man, this belief fuels unsustainable practices that jeopardize future generations. Aya shares that her people in the Amazon believe every resource taken must be returned in some way. And the great untruth number four, that technology will save us. While wisdom tradition stresses responsibility, modern solutions often over-rely on unproven technologies. And the harm in this is that this delays systemic change and can create overconfidence in quick fixes. As Task asks, what if the best innovation isn't a machine, but rediscovering how to work with nature? Now, the problem with problem solving. Another wise man, Albert Einstein, once said, we cannot solve our problems with the kind of thinking we used when we created them. Treating the climate crisis as just another problem to solve keeps us locked in the same mindset that created it, a mindset shaped by the four great untruths. Efforts like banning plastics or planting trees address symptoms, but not the root cause. These actions, while necessary, are not enough. We're not here to patch holes in a sinking ship, Argos declares. We're here to design a whole new way of sailing. So, where do we go from here? In the next chapter, we'll explore the great truths, the antidotes to the great untruths, and how they can guide us towards a regenerative future. These truths aren't just principles, they are invitations to rethink, reconnect, and reimagine humanity's role on Earth. Now, this series is really for eco-conscious families, and especially for those with young members between the ages of 10 and 25, what I view to be really future eco-guardians in training. Together, we'll uncover ways to reimagine our relationship with nature, challenge harmful beliefs, and take inspired action to create a thriving world. So, this is a call to readers. This series invites you to join Zach, Rakit, and the rest of the Eco Guardian team as we together uncover the roots of disconnection and envision a world of collaboration. Together, we'll learn to step into a new story, one rooted in connection, reciprocity, and purpose. Let's not just solve problems. Let's create the future. Again, this is Brad, aka W. Bradford Swift, eco-author. And a quick P.S. We've explored the root cause of the climate crisis and the great untruths that shape our collective actions. But where do these untruths come from? The answer lies in the stories we tell. Stories that have divided us from nature, from each other, and even from our own potential. In the next chapter and installment, Stories That Divide Us, we'll uncover how cultural narratives like dominion over nature have perpetuated harmful beliefs and deepened the gap. So, won't you join me, Zach, Tess, and the rest of the Eco Guardian team, as together we uncover the power of stories, both to divide, but also to inspire transformation. Together we'll begin rewriting the narratives that shape our future.